early childhood development, especially when it comes to taking children to early childhood education centers. I think in Kampala you call them nursery schools or kindergarten. But the question is, at what age did you go to nursery school? Is nursery school important?
Can't you just go to primary?
Yes. So how important is early childhood education to a child? Yes, I saw you putting up your hands. Did you go to nursery school?
Yes.
At what age?
At 3 years.
At 3 years?
Yes.
Who else attended nursery school? Where did you go?
There at St. Andrew Primary School.
St. Andrew Primary School.
It's a primary school, but it has a nursery school. Okay.
Also 3 years. At what age did you go to nursery?
4 years.
You are 4.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
3 years.
3 years. Which nursery school is that?
The Spring Elementary School is
Pardon?
And we are passing
The
on
Spring
it.
Elementary School.
Here.
Yes.
Ah, it looks beautiful. What do people do? What do you do when you're in nursery school? What are the activities? What do you learn? What goes on in a nursery school?
In a nursery school, you learn how to share with your friends.
Yes.
What do you do in a nursery school?
In a nursery school, you can learn more. At the time when you reach as in primary, you can be active and your brains are sharp, and you cannot make the teacher get tired.
Well, nursery school by Gizacha.
In nursery school, we learn how to read the alphabetical letters and write.
Okay.
Hey, from nursery school, you know how to write.
Yes.
Currently, the proportion of children in preschool is only 9%. Abana basinga tusoma nursery. We grow up at home and then P1.
Yes.
But I want to ask I'll start with the education policy expert. Why is it important for children to go to preschool?
They learn a lot of things. They develop their fine and motor muscles.
What?
Fine and motor muscles. Yes. And they also learn to share, as they have been telling you. They learn to play and even associate with others.
You lost me on fine and motor muscles. Which ones are those ones? Where are they found?
Fine and motor. Okay. For a child who has gone to a preschool, will be able at least to hold a pencil very well than that one who has never gone to a preschool. Of course, the other one will be struggling because his fine motor, fine muscles will not have been developed. So they will be a bit
weak.
They will not be flexible enough than as that one who has gone at least to a preschool.
That one I've learned.
Yes, Sylvia. Why is it important for us to take our children to preschool?
You find these children, when they are at home, they are selfish. So when they come to school, they can associate with other children and socialize, share, play with others, all that. And also, when these children are in nursery school, we have these presentations where their self-esteem and self-confidence.
Those in preschools, they get friends. They know how to sing songs. They can know how to get. Those teachers give them new stories. So from preschools, they come from there when they are mature people.
Right. Well, officially in Uganda, children aged 3 to 5 years are expected to be enrolled in preschool. So, mwana waweze miaka 3 bana find somewhere to take the child.
Actually, primary schools don't accept a student, a pupil who is below 6 years, because they believe you have to have gone to preschool from 3 to 5, then now at 6 you're in P1.
Right. When we come back, we'll ask you, do you think it should have been different if you had not gone to preschool?
Do you think you'd have been a different person?
Take a look.
Early childhood education development it refers to the gradual process of human development, physical, emotional, socially, from the conception time to the initial stage of education. So we consider 0 to 8 years. The child should have this education because we find that in most of the children who don't go to the school, they don't know how to socialize. So this child, when he or she goes to the centers, the nursery school, this child can be able to socialize. Early childhood education is a right, but currently in Uganda, compared to urban areas, rural villages, rural areas, they take early childhood as not important. But I urge them that early childhood is very important because these children, they tend to miss. And with time, these children, when they stay in when they go direct to P1 without going through the early childhood centers, they miss a lot because they repeat the classes frequently. And now the first appeal goes to the government, whereby we want to work hand in hand with the government, with the districts, with the local councils, so that we sensitize these caregivers on the importance of taking these children to the nursery schools.
Why do parents refuse to take their children to nursery school?
Abamu tebabeera na ssente kuba nursery zibeera expensive.
Zisinga primary.
Yeah. Kati ne basalawo nti omwana oyo abeere waka ng'asitula munne gw'amuzzaako paka lw'anawezamu emyaka 6 mutwale wali ku UPP.
Muwulira biki abazadde be bagamba?
Tebagala twala baana
They don't want to take their children to nursery.
Abamu baba tebalina school fees. Abazadde babeera nga tebasobola kubasasula school fees, ne basalawo babagambe ngetuulo tugira tukuba buloga. Olunaweza emyaka 6 nsubira sente zinaaba ziweze ogende otandike primary.
So mutandika okwesondera school fees.
Baba tebalina byetaago ng'ogamba okumuwa sente buli lunaku. Abamu babeera baavu.
Ne mu nursery ku age eyo of 4 obeera waka ng'okola buloko.
Abo bo baba babeera nga bayambako bazadde baabwe oba kusitula kino kubaweereza kukima amazzi. Kati bali bamama babeera bakola ng'abaana neeba.
What do you think did you need when you were in nursery from home?
Wembeera mu nursery mbeera neetaaga ebyokulyako ng'ebyo nga bansibidde okugenda ku ssomero bye naatuuka ne ndyako kuba bannange abamu baba babirina ate neetaaga n'okuzannyako abasomesa abamu bagaana abaana okuzannya
Ngoba weetaaga n'okuzannyamuko olyemuko.
What did you want your parents to do for you when you were in nursery?
Mbeera neetaaga bampe emmere ebyokulya byengenda okulya n'ebyokunywa n'ebyokuzanyisaako nga ndi ku ssomero.
Mmere ki byokunywa ki?
Nga juisi awo, emigaati.
Emigaati?
N'ebudole awo.
Nebudole?
Yes.
Nze njagalayo ne bafunirayo akatabo kange awo nga kakuba nk'obifaananyi byange ebirala bye ndaba nandyawo.
That's nice. Yes.
Kati kyetaagisa abazadde ffe ne tubeera n'omukwano naye ba teachers bano abatubeera n'obwana bwaffe buno obuto. Kyetaaga ne tubakyaliranga ne tulaba omwana oyo agenda atya okiraba. Era tulina okusikiriza abaana okubalaga omukwano kuba omwana otamulaga mukwano ayinza n'okugaana ogenda ogira ki okusoma naye n'omuteekamu buno obuntu obumusikiriza muka container teekamu ka sweet.
Now Central Region has 2,858 schools, followed by Eastern with a total of 1,640. Western Region has 1,098 centers, while the Northern Region, which is ranked fourth, with only 831. Southwestern Region has 751 centers, and of course the Northeastern, which is the smallest geographical area, has the list of 190. And the distribution obviously is not enough. But going appropriator or nursery, what are you doing to make sure that P1 is ready for primary school. Abana, when you are in nursery school,
Yes.
what did your parent fail to do that you wanted?
They failed to pay for the school fees, and I just skipped to primary.
So in nursery, what
So you
class
didn't
did
finish
you stop?
nursery?
Yes,
What class did you stop?
I stopped in baby class.
So you
So-
went to baby class, then after some time you just went straight to primary.
Yes.
Okay. So what things are parents failing to do, or what did your parent fail to do when you were in daycare?
abazadde balemererwa okupaakingira ebyokulya.
Wali tobeera na mmere?
Yeah.
Muzadde wo kiki yalema okukola kye wali oyagala?
yalema okunsomesa nasale nenjimalako negenda mp1
Wasoma nursery myaka emeka? Wakoma mu kirasi ki mu nursery?
nakoma mu bebi
Naye wakoma mu baby?
ye nantwala mu mp1
So wayiga omwaka gumu baby n'ogenda noba promoted to P1.
Nze n'ekirala maama wange yali nga tamperekera nga ngenda zeruka ate twali tetulina school van nga tambula bigere naye nga tamperekera nagaana okusoma nga njagala primary because primary yali near nga mbeera sijja mu.
So you wanted your parent to walk with you to school?
Yes.
Dress code.
Wow.
Nga wala deke nga nursery eri wala.
Yes.
Gwe n'ogamba kangende ku primary
I'd like you to help us understand this. Baby, ky'omwana ky'omusomesa mu baby for one and you just taking our money.
Okay, for them they have a lot of play materials which can help them to develop their gross motor and fine motor, as I explained earlier. So those things, you cannot get them at home as a parent. First of all, they will be even very expensive and you have no time even to make them. But when they go to a well-established nursery school, you find that those things are there. And even the learning framework stipulates what has to be done for the baby class, that is 3 years, then for the 4 years, middle class, and then the 5-year-olds, that is top.
Nursery school ennungi ogitegeererawa?
Nursery school ennungi ebeera n'ebintu by'abaana bye bazanyirako nga saakaasi.
Saakaasi? Maama. Kyekirala. Nursery school ennungi?
Nursery school erina okubeera n'obuyonjo.
Nga nnyonjo. How do you tell a good nursery school?
A good nursery school.
Speak louder.
A good nursery school, it must have a place where these young kids can rest from. Because when they can come, I can give an example. There are some schools which they can pick children early, at least early at 6 p.m. At 6 a.m. And when they reach at school, they can be very tired because on the way to school, they just woken them up from their sleep, and then they come to school.
How do I, as a parent, identify a good nursery school?
Kati nursery schools mwogiyitako okukuba obwoti olaba notegeera kiki ekiri munda kuba ebifaananyi ebibeerako nabyo bibeera bisomesa ki abaana abato. Ekirala mulina okubeera mu abasomesa abatendeka obulungi nga bamanyi ebitabo ebyo bikwatagana naki ne nasale kuba kati ekirala ekiremesa abazadde okutwala abaana mu nasale zino private zino ezibalukawo buli kiseera ezo baddira abaana ba drop out senior ne babateeka nti jangu mbeereko wano beere nga okwatirako ki abaana bano okiraba omwana omuto 3 years ne babeera bamuteeka what is science ebintu bwebyo kale nebeera
bamusomesa ebintu ate ebiri
nga byaffectinga obwongo bwaki bw'omwana.
Nze ng'omuzadde simanyi administration ntegeera ntya nti omwana wange mututte naye abasomesa bali qualified. How do I know that?
Kati abaana babawa files at the end of that term. Nawe era otunula mu buti n'olaba n'ogamba kino kya P4 naye bakiwadde omwana waki wa nasale tokiraba n'ogamba really kino kituufu.
Is there a special training? Because I know teachers have grades. All about grade 5, all about grade 4. But is there a special training for teachers specifically for kindergarten?
Yes, we have nursery school. We have nursery teacher training institutions
in Uganda.
Yes.
How where are they?
YMCA. We have in JINJA we have Jolenis nursery teacher training. We have Tubalera. We have even Chambogo, those ones who have gone through the certificate level, they can go for a diploma level.
Nursery schools were initiated in the 1930s by European missionaries, first as places where these people would take their children. And slowly it was developing until Rachomana Jabuziwano Kuberao, Katkatan Kubusomisayo, so that by the time one took them primary, baberamu ngakatalaka weddemu. And that's where it started. Now in 1973, the government was concerned about the need for quality education, especially in preschools. And it enacted a statute which conferred upon the National Curriculum Development Center mandate for designing a curriculum and support materials for all levels of education, including preschool. So, the Ministry of Education is developing a strong curriculum for nursery school. Omwana mutwale mu nursery tomuteka wakoba mutwale wajjajja abirawo watuka mu primary ng'ekigambo kyasobola okwogera ayogera omuwemba emmere amayuni
ebitunga ebyo
mwana beno gayogera kazungu
naye batalyangako crisp at least alabe munne ng'agireese aveeyo ng'agitegedde nti crisp mmere so si machine